So today we are mining asteroids to pay rent, which is getting way worse as we go down. But as long as we pick an asteroid that's gonna be profitable, it'll be fine. And I do like options, so let's go here to begin with. So we boost into hyperspeed and find somewhere to land that is beneficial to our setup, which is good against powder and rock, which thankfully this asteroid is comprised mostly of. But that's also not where the money is. Stuff like gems is where the money is. But why don't we land here? Because there's plenty of powder here that we can get through, and there's some weaker ground in these little cave networks that make it a lot easier to mine apart. And ultimately, as long as our net is above 0, then it's a good day. But the gems help that out a lot more, even though they take longer to mine and more oxygen. But thankfully we found some air pockets. A big air pocket at that, so we can freshen ourselves right up with some O2. And we're also next to the core already, but that's pretty tough. So let's just get some other things, and we're already making a net positive. Very good, a big net positive at that. And there's plenty of air pockets down here too still. So we should be able to get a whole lot of good. Just gotta visit it again, without hopefully letting too much escape, and then we get to work once more, getting even more gems. The core is so tempting because it's right there, but the core is also insanely tough. We're also so close to the core that the camera is going all wonky, so that's fun. But let's make sure we're getting the most out of this trip. The corporate cut is only 1,000, so we are going well above and beyond. And our oxygen is running low, but thankfully we found another pocket, so this is turning out to be a very good venture. And the minerals are also good too. Not as good as the gems, but still good. Although our oxygen is starting to get low again, and I think we ran out of air pockets. So we should go back the way we came and get out of here, because no one wants to be rescued by Corpo. Although we can mine a little bit on the way out. Ooh, and there's minerals right by the surface here, right by our ship. So we get out with a net positive of 5,000. That's very good. Although, because the fee went up percentage-wise, we don't get away with as much, but it's still a good amount. We have 3,000 in our pocket, which we can use to get some new upgrades, like a better drill bit, which is good against rocks and gems. I think that's gonna be better than our current one, which is only powder and rock, even if the strength drops slightly, but we can still take it. And then we swap that out there. We can sell the old one for a little bit more money, so might as well. And then we can pick somewhere to go, which this one has good gems and metal. And this one doesn't have metal, so it's better to go here, but this also has a risk of low pressure. It is a low risk of low pressure, so thankfully it is safe. Now we need to find somewhere that has a lot of rocks and gems, which I thought this was metal, but it's rock. Thankfully, that's what this thing mostly is. And there's a big gem deposit right through here. So let's go down. We approach one gem, which thankfully our gem is better at than rock, so it's a lot easier to get through. And we're making positive already. But let's avoid the metal deposits here because our drill is not cut out for that. Getting a little bit more income there. Cutting the oxygen very close. Like trying to fill up at a gas station to the exact dollar. And okay, now we have to make it out of here, which thankfully we do just in the nick of time. Another 3,000 net. So wow, this drill is already, oh my goodness, that's a 3 strength drill. And it's got core benefit too. I kind of need this. Just look at the size difference. And this is in its own class of drill bits. Get rid of this one. And we only have one asteroid that we can go to this time, which is gonna be that way for a while, but we are coming up on a shop. So we should save our money as much as possible and find core and metal as much as possible, which the colors here are funky. It looks like that's metal right there at the gold stuff, but there is surprisingly not much of it. We might have to beeline to the core, but a strength of 3 is gonna be good all around, and these little channels here have less durability, so it should be easier to get through. And also our drill is a massive size, bigger than the last one. This is amazing. Oh my goodness, the metal didn't stand a chance. Get through all the way to the core. We might be able to harvest the core here, and the gems actually don't take too much longer, but we are also very low on oxygen already. Can we get any core at all while we're here? It's looking like it's gonna be close to no. Oh yeah, it's no. Okay, and I don't think there was any air pockets either. So maybe got a little zealous there. Is there anything else on the surface that we can get? Not with this low amount of oxygen. So let's just leave with our net of 750 profit. That is super low, but our savings are still up. Although these things now I don't care about. Our drill's looking good, so we just need better chips. So let's re-roll these for a little bit of money, and then maybe a little more. Outputs random values between 50 and 125. Interesting. I'll take that bet. So if we shuffle things around here, this is affecting the size of the drill, and it's getting a buff currently. And if we do this, then that can go very high or very small. Very erratically. Can this multiply that? No, it cannot. So I don't like the size of the drill getting smaller, so let's just get rid of that. And then continue to the next one, where there is more metal, so that should mean more profits. Ooh, and there's air pockets here too. So we might be able to try the core again. Let's go over here, where it's a little weaker, get the minerals that are also weaker still. And then stop by at the metal because, oh yes, that is really boosting our profits. And now let's take a quick pause at this one with a giant drill head and work our way down to that air pocket, which is right here. Very good. It doesn't fill it up completely, but we can still milk this air pocket for as much as we can. And we are at the core with not a lot of O2. I think I would, oh, there's a chest here. I didn't realize that. Hello. What? What is this? A gem? It's a rare straight bit. Strength of 3, that's the same as ours. Rock, mineral, and gem are up as well. Wow, we need to get back with this. That is quite the find. And I don't think we have enough oxygen to really try for the core this time. So let's be smart about it and make our money here via metal, which there is still a little bit on the side and at the surface here as well. So let's just get that quick before we leave. And our net is looking way better, 6,000. So all of our money came right back. Ooh, this is, whoa, an elite multiplier. Outputs 100%, gains 5% per 1,000 resources mined. So it starts at 100, and then it's a bonus the more resources we mine, but the air cost is so high. Oh, this generates oxygen. Let's take this. That should mean we're able to do it longer, which ironically it has an air cost as well. And I don't think it's actually getting any benefit right now because it doesn't have any multipliers. So let's hold that off to the side for now and get this big drill bit in here. Oh my goodness. And then let's sell the old one for a little bit more money. That was quite the find in that chest. Though I guess another thing that we could do is instead of increasing the size of the drill, we change this to being the oxygen generator, which is 120% oxygen, but is that enough to offset the cost of oxygen? I don't think so. So let's go back to this. I do like a size bonus. And we have another low pressure risk, but it's still kind of low. So we should be fine as long as we are, yep, we are safe. Okay, rocks, minerals, and gems. And there's another chest over there. So there's a very good chain that we can follow through here. I like where this is going. Oh my gosh, that is a massive drill head. Look at the area. Wow, we really need to make use of this. Get all the minerals and gems that we can, making so much bank. All the way down to the chest here. And it has a low multiplier. Interesting. We might be able to use that and get even more gems. Is it worth trying the core right now? We can try it a little bit, but that's still not worth it. Now we just need to get out of here, which is kind of very close. I didn't notice any air pockets. Kind of got excited with the massive drill size, but there's also a bit right there. Oh, yes. Look at our net gain now, 22,000. We are rolling in it now. Ooh, a strength effect. Effects strength against all materials at 50%. If we could boost that, then that would be better. Why don't we see what we can do with that? And we are coming up on, okay, we can go to another asteroid, but we can also go to a merchant. Let's go to the merchant. We have all this money to spend anyway. And okay, so this outputs constant 80%. So if we put that on the strength one, then that would mean instead of our strength being at 50%, it's at 90%. Is that hurting us? I think that might be hurting us. And then boosting the oxygen strength doesn't help either because it's not a boost. Instead of boosting the size, we could boost the strength here. So that's a little bit more strength. That would help with harvesting the core. So let's hold on to the rest and then go to that merchant where we can get a gravity assist multiplier, 150% when drilling down, but 60 when drilling up. We have a lot of money, so let's re-roll a bit, see if we can get something better, like a life raft. Gains 25% for each time rescued. That's interesting. Ooh, oxygen consumption. This would go good with that low bonus. And then let's re-roll a few more times. The drill bits here sadly aren't any better, but whoa, there's another thing. The rock strength is 4 times? But everything else is kind of worse than our current drill. And the re-rolls are getting more expensive, so let's just do one more. Maybe one more. Nothing is good. Let's just continue before we burn all of our money. So if we take this oxygen effect here, and then put it with the low, then we are using less oxygen. So instead of 3902 per second, it's 32 per second. And if we pair that with a increase of oxygen generation, oh, that's actually weirdly worse than not having anything there, because that's at 29 now, but I do want more strength. Yes, and now we have another choice before we get to a final boss asteroid, which is interesting. Ooh, and now we can go to either an asteroid or a promotion. I do like the sound of a promotion. Away we go to better ourselves in the company. So let's see, we can renegotiate things so they're worth more. We can't really get access to the core right now very easily, so I don't think renegotiating the core is gonna help, even though that is where the big money is. Gems we can get though. Let's get this. But those do cost 1,000, so we should be careful how much we're spending here. I think that's worth it. And then let's go one more. Ooh, more gems renegotiating? Or how about rock? Because we get a lot of rock. Now let's double down on the gems. And then that's all I want to spend, because now the corporate cut is 1350, which is a little more than our savings, but we should be able to do it. And there is a new message, a mission objective from Star Mining Co. now. Wow, cargo vessel recently crashed on an asteroid in your sector. Was carrying some very important cargo. Go to the crash zone and retrieve the flight computer. Failure will not be tolerated. Okay then, so we have to do the objective. Well, let's see how bad it is. Oh, there's a chance of a dust storm. There's actually a decent chance. And oh no, danger. So, wow, that fogged up the entire asteroid, but thankfully we can see the ship here. Oh, and it's coated with gems. Oh, this is beneficial. And there's core right there too. Is that as strong as this core? It looks like it is. Well, our main objective is flight computers. So let's just crash down here. Oh, right in the engine. Only one of the data chips is holding the information you're looking for. I have to look around, but you'll find it, okay. Well, let's just go through the ship here. Get a lot of profits, might as well. Can we actually get the core while we're here? That's not worth it. Let's get the mission. Ooh, but there's air pockets. Okay, well, let's just take a moment and try to get this core then. Just mining through as much of this as possible, which is getting worse. Ooh, it's almost breaking. We might have to stop and get a bit of oxygen though. Thankfully though, we can just park right here and then fill up very casually. And we are still earning money on this. Very good. Leave it to corporate to give us a mission objective, but also require a payout. Can we please get through this core though? I don't want to use another air pocket entirely before getting this. It looks like it's so close to breaking though. Please. Okay, time for another air pocket. Just break through here. Whoa, big air pocket. Hey! And we trigger the oxygen warning that completely refill tank. Very nice. All right, this is the last chance I'll give here because there's only one air pocket left. Yes, we're getting core now. Oh, beautiful. That was, wow, 39,000 on that. Huge worth. That was worth it in all respects. And now let's refill our oxygen yet again all the way. And then look for that data chip. So we just go down and then there's a data chip. Oh, first one. Wow. That was worth it. Look at the net gain though. Then there's another core right down there because that's the asteroid. Do we risk that? I think we can get a few more of the materials that are worth value here at least. And we accidentally reached an air pocket pretty early. Now we have the objective. So we can go ahead and just hope that we get the things here and might as well just refill. We might as well just drill right here because it's right next to the air pocket, so it's really saving on the oxygen consumption. Whether or not this is going any faster though, I'm not sure. I kind of doubt it, but at least we still have some air, although I don't think we're getting through there. So let's just escape. Would not want to be rescued on this mission. And there is still some free-floating air particles over here, I guess, but it's not enough to justify staying here any longer. Let's just drill through this gem deposit here in the ship. And we made it away, yes! With a nice amount of savings. I don't even know if there's anything worth getting here now. Unless we re-roll a bit and a bit more. Gloves? Extra when drilling on the average angle. What does that even mean? Re-roll a little bit more. Ooh, that's a big one. Full grid low, outputs 25% if the circuit grid is full. That should help the oxygen consumption more because our grid is currently full. So let's buy that for 2,000. And we get a new special item, terrain bomb, air bomb, fog bomb. Interesting, they have different costs to use, gives a bunch of air. That could help. And we already mine rock super good, so let's get this. Air bomb. And Star Co tells us good job. You will now be required to collect any missing parts you come across for Star Mining Co. Failure to collect parts will incur a financial penalty. You will be monitored. Thank you, big brother. Very cool. So we have to pay attention to the flight computer where packages are gonna be, which, what does that look like? There might not be any here yet. Unless we have to get within range like this, or it's just something that's like on the asteroids individually. Well, I don't really like the risk of tectonic plates, but that does increase the price of materials. Interference, 61%? What does interference do? 2 of these have that. I don't know if I like this. I'd rather go somewhere like this because it has gems. But now, if we take out this low multiplier and put in a full grid low here, then the oxygen consumption is down to half. Oh, I love that so much. But I would also like some more grid spaces in the future. Maybe that's something else that we can get at the shop. Oh, hold on. That might be a package right there. And over there. And oh wow, there actually might be a few of these. But they're all down to the core level, so we might as well benefit while we're getting down there. And there is an air pocket, thankfully. So let's cut through the rock at this angle, because that would also give us plenty of materials to use an air bomb with. And our drill is just super good all around, so we really don't lose here. It's just kind of weird to hover in a spot because we over drilled and then we're missing things, but that was a part. Okay, so there is 3 of them here. Let's just use this air pocket here before we use the air bomb. Maybe we can use it a few times while we're getting the core. And there's 1 part there. And then was the last one to the left or to the right? I think it was over this way. There it is. Get through metal there, and then over to here. And there we go. We have all the parts. Now let's take a moment and try to get through this core as much as possible. And also maybe drop an air bomb here. How much does that regenerate? Oh, actually not very much. What if we drop a few of those? That rejuvenates oxygen pretty well, and we're already making pretty good net gain on this. Although actually the corporate cost is really chewing into profits here. So we honestly might need that rock more than anything, because that's where most, well, not most of our money, but it's where a good chunk of it is. And this is still egregiously slow. We need a drill that does better at core, but at least we can rejuvenate oxygen when it gets low. It would be nice to make use of that oxygen generation, but this is really not worth it. So where did we come from to get here? Was it over there? I feel like it was over this way. Sure enough, it was. Well, we can still get some things on the way out of here. So our net isn't as good, but also we have a lot of savings. So it's not as vital that we make good profit here. We got a profit of 1,000. It seems so weak right now, but there's another good drill. It has much better strength, but the bonuses don't seem as good. What is this? Blank slate? 10% for each empty circuit cell. Don't care. I think we can afford to get this just to see if it fits in our system better. The strength bonus is still incredibly better. So let's take this and then sell the old one. So now we go to the merchant. Okay, there's collector high, which could benefit, but let's re-roll maybe. Jumping jack. Oh, actually we're getting some better drill heads here. And this one is better at the core, with the same amount of strength as our current one. Oh, I need it. And then, to be honest, I'm not sure we really need to get anything more here until we get more grid space, which I'm not sure is an option here. And nothing else I'm seeing is really seeming to be worth it. So let's just move on. It's still a 5 times bonus with extra core strength. This is so good, but let's hold on to our last one in case we're disappointed. And now this thing has a big risk of tectonic plates. That does not sound like a fun time. Ooh, but there's extra supply crates down here. Let's check. Oh, it's safe. Oh, good. Okay, part there, part there. 2 chests next to each other. And a third one? And then there's a part there. Is there only 3 per asteroid, or is there eventually more? There might eventually be more, but let's be smart about the path we take to get down there. So let's go through here. Oh my goodness, this drill. Okay, it's narrow, but it's also longer. So it seems like it's doing okay, but wow, we need to make so much to get net positive. So let's just take a pause at the gems, and then should we try for the core already? I kind of want to. So we just go through like this. We're not using too much oxygen, so we might be able to get some core parts here. Oh yeah, we're getting core parts. Oh, that's beautiful. That turned our net gain right around. But of course, we're already low on oxygen, so time for a few bombs there. I don't think I saw any air pockets. And we still need to make sure we get the corporate parts, but let's also get this chest right here. Very good. Ooh, a gravity assist. Neat. And then the next one, was that? Yeah, that's this direction. Thankfully, there's an easy cave network to bring us right to that. And there's money in there. Nice. But there's still one more part that we're missing. Thankfully, it's right here next to the last chest. I don't know if it's the last one, but yes! Circuit rows. Another row to the circuit board. Very nice. And then last part here. Beautiful. That was a good day. But the question is, will we make it out of here? We don't have enough to make another oxygen bomb, so we have to be very cautious with our oxygen usage, but I think we're not getting out of here, so we end up getting rescued by corporate, which cost 5,000, but we still made 36,000 profit, and I'm not impressed by anything here, and I don't feel like re-rolling, so let's... Actually, we do have another row. We have another row of circuits, which also means that this is no longer getting its benefit, so maybe we should check in a little bit here. Outputs 50% if the first row is filled, which it currently is, so we might be able to stack things on the oxygen consumption to bring that incredibly down, but I want to make use of this compressor, so we need something that is an up. Minimalist, that doesn't help us at all. Full first row high, I do like the sound of that. Outputs 200% if the first row is filled. Oh yes please. So let's reorganize a bit here. We need you down here then, and then if we scooch you down, you can go here, and then the compressor goes here. The grid is full, so now there's 25% consumption, so we're back to that, and then we're generating oxygen. Still not enough to fully negate it, but it helps. So we're doing pretty well right now. And we have a promotion coming up. Even better. Can there be a promotion that reduces oxygen consumption, please? You know, maybe it's time we renegotiate some of the other things so we can continuously earn more money, like rock. And then gems again? Yes. Ooh, reduce the corporate cut. Absolutely. And we can renegotiate core now since we're able to do better on that. This reduces the fine for not collecting a part, but we're pretty good at that. More core renegotiating. And metal too? Might as well. Reduce the rescue fee, it's not so bad. Definitely not worth 1,300, I think. I'd rather put that towards reducing the corpo cut even more, and renegotiating more gems. Okay, one more. Ooh, reduce the cost of re-rolling, yes please. And now we're at 100,000. Let's move on, where we can get more promotions, and also a mechanic. You know, this is probably where we could have gone to get more drill slots sooner, I realize. So we can go to the asteroid here that has a risk of a dust storm, or a risk of low pressure. I'm not sure what this means, but the extra price bonuses are amazing. And this also has no rock, so we're going down here. Plus, dust storm should be pretty easy to handle, especially over here. We make careful note of where one part is at least. And then they all hang around the core, so that makes it pretty easy there. Might as well check, and sure enough, danger. So we lose track of everything, but we can still kind of see through the dust, which is hilarious. There's a part there, and there's another part there. So they're actually kind of distant from the core, surprisingly. Oh, and there's one that's really close right there. Might as well go for that one first. And, oh, if we stay very still, then no oxygen gets used. And then, of course, as soon as we drill, that changes, and it's actually going up. Oh my gosh, we're gaining oxygen. We can be here forever. I officially win asteroids. Did I also miss the part? No, I collected it. Lost track of success. Oh, the dust storm also fills in fog. Interesting. Now we should start cutting sideways because there's a part over here. Thankfully, we're able to find easy enough. And let's just rejuvenate oxygen with the pocket, even though we get it back. And then let's just benefit from the core because we still have 50,000 negative gain to turn around here. There's a little bit, and man, that instantly fixes our money deficit. I love it so much. Just want a little bit more until it becomes very detrimental to continue. Man, the fact that we're constantly regaining oxygen is broken, and I love it. So we literally just sit here for a bit and we're at a full tank again. Oh, I love this. Wonder if I get caught in the middle, if we just spin in perpetuity, we become the core. I just love the fact that this works. And I guess we kind of technically are in the core now. We're as low as we can get. and we just spin. But that's enough of that. I have better things to do. We're also making 200, almost 300,000 in net gains. Can we push that to 3? Oh yes, in no time at all. All right, I've had my fun. Now, where's that last part? To be honest, I'm not sure. It's been long enough and I am blinded by wealth that I kind of forgot where it was. We also can't really use the drill very much before needing to refill. Oh, there's the part, right there. Might as well just use an air bomb to, you know, drop a few. Just so we have the boost to get up there, to the part. Now we have everything, and then we can get out of here. Or we just take the L and get rescued, but we shouldn't need to. Just gotta, aha, get out. And then we can take a casual stroll along the surface of the asteroid. Our oxygen tank is almost empty, and we're probably getting lightheaded. But this also helps us find where we came from, because there is no compass back to the drop pod. Thankfully, though, it doesn't take long to find it. So we can leave with 300,000 in our pockets. That is insane. But I guess the corpo cost took away 100,000 of it, but we still have 300,000 in our pockets. Output increases to 175% over 2 seconds of continuous drilling. Well, that could be fun, but we don't have space for much. So unless it's something really good, like a money printer, affects a chance of converting resources directly into money. What does that even mean? I don't know, but I'm interested. Buy it. Not that we really have anywhere to put new things, but let's figure that out after a promotion, where I kind of want to see if we can reduce the corpo cut even more. And let's renegotiate rock, reroll, part pickup fine, don't need that. We can get the gem price an extra 25% more, sure. Reroll a little bit more. More core bonuses, yes please. Ooh, reduce the number of parts you're required to pick up. I like this. Not seeing any more corpo cut deductions, but we can reduce the amount of parts we need to pick up again, which I thought was already reduced. Let's reduce it again. And renegotiate metal, sure. Don't really want to lose more because we need to pay so much for corpo fees. Also, the messages that get sent are a lot less friendly anymore. You belong to Star Mining Co. And then the guy that was here previously is like, I gotta get out of here. So, interesting, but time for the mechanic. Increase the possible multiplier value range by 1? I am not sure what that means, but we can add another column, might as well, and then reduce the amount of air consumed by the jetpack, yes please. Circuit power, I feel like this is a good thing to get, so let's take this. And then reroll, reduce the base amount of air consumed by the drill, yes please. Even less air consumed by the jetpack, and more multiplier range? Sure. We have so much money to go through, it's kind of ridiculous. Another row? Ooh, air capacity increase, yes. I don't even know what to do here. But these things are no longer effective until we get more pieces. So let's look for the blue upgrades here to reduce oxygen demand even more, as much as possible, and also get bigger tanks. So this is getting very lucrative and beneficial. And all the other, but let's be good with this. We could go on for a while. Another ship log? I've had enough. Okay, I'm going to the Star Mining Co. data center to destroy my contract so I can be free. Oh wait, is this us? Has that been us this whole time? I thought this was the previous owner of the ship. Wow, so we are going to the data center now, where the corpo cut is 100,000 and we still have so much in savings, so we can lose this and be fine. But if we lose, then that's also probably game over. Wow, okay. Can we boost our things anymore here? We definitely need the first row filled up completely. Actually, I'm not sure this is useful because 0.75 per resources is way worse than the resources are even worth. But I wonder if we swap these around in those rows. Oh, we can't quite do that. We can do that. And then we need the top row filled for this. Trying to see if we can boost the oxygen generation even more. Then as long as we're drilling down, we get more oxygen? I'm not sure that's the better one to do. It'd be better to do this, even if we're losing strength, but we do get better strength drilling down, so that's good news. And then to help the oxygen consumption, we kind of just need fill-ins here. So we can just do that, I guess. Oxygen down at 0.25%, I love it. Okay, so our drill is working. As intended, oxygen per second is down to 10? Can I please see how much this is generating? It's gotta be so good, because it's up 320%? Oh, that's gotta be so good. But here we go, we're about to go to the data center. What sort of place is this? Are we drilling into a building? Low pressure, 90% chance. Okay, I guess we're about to see what this does. Oh, there's a network. Okay, so we need one of those data chips again. And what is that? Guessing it's just like a checkpoint, but there's also a lot of core segments here. Weird. Okay, low pressure. Your air consumption will be higher. Oh, great. Well, at least there's air pockets. Oh, but there's so many data chips there, it looks like. Or is that? Oh no, that's just core. Huh. So what's the best way to enter this facility? And do we still care about getting the pieces? We probably should, but why don't we just go in through here? And then sure enough, we need to find a chip. There's only one piece to collect, and oxygen is still not going down. Oh yes, we're still being the increased consumption of air. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. We're in. I mean, might as well just grab the part here because I guess corporate obligations. And there's so much air flowing through here, wow. But let's just get through this. Oh, core segments. Okay, this isn't the data you need. Fair enough. So I guess the other parts are still here, but we don't need to collect those. Do we get extra credit for collecting more? Probably not, but we go up here next. Let me in. Let me in. This isn't the data. Well, let's just keep going to the next one. What is this yellow stuff? I thought that was core, but that might just be metal. Still isn't the data. At least there's plenty of other spots here for us to check. And still isn't the data. Where do we go next? Why don't we cut through here to where all of this beautiful core stuff is? Because we might as well, if we're going down a corporate rebellion, might as well drain this company for all of its worth, as long as this takes. The good news is the net being negative, even if we were to leave after getting the data, it still will not drain us of our savings. But also we're just gaining core here casually, so we're during that net loss right around. But we also need to be drilling down in order to get better strength. So let's make sure we're up here, although it's a little hard to keep up with. Might as well just go through this SMC right here. So we're still not quite done with the net loss, but let's see what this data is. Hey, there's a contract data. Nice. Are we still gonna be employed after this? Probably not, right? But also, are we stuck here? Let me out. Let me out of here. I still would like to gain a little bit of money. So let's get a little bit more core through the star here. We're losing some air, but there was still an air pocket back the other way. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that going up? Oh, slag is bad to get. Well, I wish I knew that. It'd be better to go to the core block that's right over there. And we also have no rock to generate an air bomb. Surprisingly, this thing is entirely powder. But also, can we please just exit through here? Thank you. So it might be better to actually go through the sides of this place, because at least powder is worth something. And the air that was over here is currently scattered. Ooh, but there's an air pocket right there. Let's save a little bit of time. The oxygen generates kind of quicker than before, but there is still so much of it to recover. We don't need too much more before we can easily get to this air pocket here. Oh, that's so much better. And then get through the metal like that. And then should we get to core here? That should be safe to get. I think we can afford to do such thing. No rock here. That's such a disappointment. And I had not mined slag before, so I had no idea that was a major deficit. But core turns it right around. Like, do we even care? We just stole our contract from the company, and I'm not sure they're gonna be very kind about this. But we have gone about as much core as we can feasibly, and our net gain is still incredibly positive. So let's just avoid the slag as much as possible, and then get out here the way we came, which is very easy to do. So we can leave, we have our contract, and we have parts, even though I'm not sure we care about that as much anymore. We win on all fronts. Oh, and there's another drill that is worse than ours, never mind. 372,000 in savings. And what is this? Affects gem strength. We don't really need that. Asteroid quake? Outputs if you trigger geothermal activity, otherwise it does nothing. Don't really care. Skip. So we get another new special item, but we just stole the contract, so what happens now? We can upgrade the air bomb, which doubles the amount of air it gives, but also costs more. I think I'd rather get a different kind of bomb, like maybe a fog bomb, because that just takes powder, and there's plenty of that. So let's unlock the fog bomb. We win! Yay! So we have our freedom. What happens if we continue? Check messages, shift blog. Free, no more corporate overlords. Going to have to go out into some wilder sections of the asteroid belt from now on if I don't want to get found by Star Mining Co. Oh, so this is where the poisonous gases come in. That's some of those rewards we're talking about. So we just kind of carve our own path, but why is there so much corporate cut still? I thought we were free from this. Oh, well, we don't have corporate overlords anymore, so I think that's a great place to stop things for now. And really, with infinite oxygen like we have, we could go as far as we want to without any repercussions, really. So I'd say we did pretty good today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of Star Mining Co. The Star Jingles too. And look at this guy over here. All he needs is a sticky note. But if you guys do want to see more of this game with some more crazy shenanigans, then be sure to let me know. Thank you for watching and sub to Intern.